So today in ridiculousness, we have some more Oscars news coming out of dailymail.com. Wife of Ford versus Ferrari sound editor slams ridiculous social media attacks on her husband after he dared thank her for giving up her own career to raise their child during Oscars acceptance speech. That's right. If you watched the Oscars, you would have saw this. The sound editor for Ford versus Ferrari came up, gave his speech, and thanked his wife for being his wife and raising his children. Oh my goodness. The world has truly lost its mind. This isn't the first time things like this have been slammed. Of course, traditional family stuff, that's really been under attack for a while. So, of course, thanking your wife for being your wife, that's not allowed. That's terrible. So let's get into this. Let's look at what's been going on. But first, a word from the sponsor of this video, which is, of course, Ridge Wallet. On the left is their carbon fiber wallet. On the right is their blue aluminum wallet. Both are great. I use my carbon fiber wallet daily. They sent me the blue one so I could show you guys some differences. Look at how much stuff you can fit in these, actually. And they're great. They're not big and bulky. They go in your front pocket, which is very nice. They also have more than just wallets, by the way. You can get cell phone cases. So if you want to carry a couple more, maybe you're going to a concert, put your ID and a credit card in that case. Boom, that's perfect. They also have backpacks, as you can see. They have a lot of really cool products that I think are worth checking out. They're the only sponsor I've ever taken, by the way, and that's because I like their stuff. I really do use their products. I think they're really good stuff. And if you go into the description, you'll find a link. There's also a code, FLASH. You can use that code. You get 10% off of whatever they have on their store. Lots of good stuff. You can get USB cables, phone chargers, knives. They have a ton of stuff on there. Also, check out their reviews. Lots of positive reviews on there. Guaranteed for life. Also, I think the fact that they're willing to stand with channels like mine is a very cool thing. So remember, link in the description. Use the code FLASH, 10% off. Check them out. So we live in this strange world where you're not allowed to just have a spouse that sits at home. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not allowed to have a wife that sits at home. So that's kind of the weird thing. A lot of people want to raise kids, want to have a traditional family. I don't see what's wrong with that. Okay. Also, a lot of these people that criticize people that do this don't have children. And if you don't have children, you don't know how expensive they are. So it's expensive to get somebody to watch them. In a lot of cases, it's more expensive to pay for childcare than it is for your spouse to work. That's a real thing. Also, if you make enough money to where a spouse doesn't need to work, where they can stay at home, I don't see the problem with that. Okay, that's a lot better for the mother or the father, but in most cases it's the mother, to stay home and raise the kid. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If they want to do that and they have the option to do that, I really don't see it as a big deal. But of course, people always whine about it. And it's always people that don't even have a partner, don't have kids. They just want to get in there and just destroy things because it's always some kind of weird patriarchy thing. So the Ford versus Ferrari editor, whose name is Donald Sylvester, gets up there, gives his speech. Very, very appreciative for winning his sound editing award for Ford versus Ferrari, which is an excellent movie, by the way. Very good movie. One of my favorites of the year, actually. So slight criticisms on the ending. I wish they would have showed the impact of Ken Miles' death a little bit more. But, what can you do? Either way, I think it was a fantastic movie for a very fantastic time in racing. So anyway, he gets up there. He thanks his wife for giving up her career and raising their family. Not a problem. But of course, weirdos going to have a big problem with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of this here. The sound editor who won an Oscar for his work on Ford versus Ferrari sparked controversy. Isn't that stupid that this is a controversial thing? Of course it is. But, people putting their heads in other people's business and telling them how they need to raise their children and live, that's the world we live in today. And if you don't like that, well, you're an istophobe. Donald Sylvester opened his speech on the Oscar stage Sunday by thanking his colleagues before mentioning his family. The real support comes from home. So I want to thank my wonderful wife of 34 years who gave up her editing career for me to pursue my career, he said as audience applause suddenly stopped. Of course it did. Can't thank your wife. And he's doing a genuine thing. She gave up her career so that she could be a wife. And she defends him because, for some people, family is the most important thing. And that's something that escapes a lot of these weirdos. They don't get that because they're all egotistical. They think they're all some kind of virtuous, like saving the world person, and they're not. All they're really doing is laying down destruction everywhere they go. And, people are sick of it. People are sick of it. A camera in the audience that was fixated on his wife, Penny Shaw Sylvester, showed the moment a woman sitting behind her abruptly stopped clapping when he made the comment. How rude and disrespectful. Donald then added, but she raised our kid and she raised our kids and she did a great job because neither of them are politicians, drawing a small laugh from the crowd. So here's some pictures. This is him right here getting his award, and there is his wife, happy for her husband and being very supportive, and he's showing appreciation because he wouldn't be there without her. And I think that's a point that's lost. This is a family. They're in it together. And people don't understand that because they could give a shit about anybody but themselves.
How dare you?
So anyway, over on Twitter, the 10% of Twitter, as I call them, because there's been studies that have shown that everything on Twitter comes from the vocal 10%. So these are people that tweet hundreds of times a day. And I'm not kidding. You look up some of these people, hundreds of tweets a day. They drive all of the traffic. Hundreds of tweets a day. That's like tweets every couple of minutes. You're literally on Twitter all day long. This is their lives. They live there. This is their everything. And their everything is to crap on other people and destroy people. This is where cancel culture comes from. These people. And this is the way they react to things. So we got some people on here. These are some popular tweets that they grabbed. Real support comes from home. I thank my wonderful wife who gave up her career and for me to pursue my career. She raised our kids and did a great job. Bravo, woman heroes sacrificing careers so white males can do what they want and not raise kids. Hashtag Oscars 2020. Well, he did raise his kids. It sounds like they're a very happy, tight-knit family that are doing their best for each other. But of course, you wouldn't understand that because you drink boxed wine all day and probably have a couple of cats. That's it. And there awkward silence from all the women in the audience when Donald Sylvester thanks his wife for giving up her editing career for him. Eye roll. If Donald Sylvester's wife hadn't given up her editing career for him, would she be on the Oscars stage tonight? The funny thing is, she was with him in many ways. This is an award for both of them. You wouldn't understand this because, like I said, you're probably drunk on boxed wine. Got one here. Donald Sylvester winning an Oscar and thanking his wife for giving up a career so he could have a successful career makes my heart hurt for all the women who do that for men who casually squander the opportunity or never succeed at all. Well, they do succeed. They succeed at life and having a family, something you'll never probably have. But yeah, you see the point here. And this is just a selection of tweets. There's a whole ton of these things, of these people getting pissed and mad, and it's just ridiculous. The wife actually gets to say something, and she says she decided to quit working full-time because one of her children, who are now 30 and 25 years old, had special needs and required extra care. I was paying someone to take care of my special needs child and realized they couldn't do it as well as I could. Nobody knows a child as well as the parents do, she said, which is absolutely true. And that's something that these people don't understand. They'll never understand because most of them aren't going to have any kids or never will or never had or whatever. They don't understand that. So, how could they do this for children? Well, you'll never understand that. So anyway, she says she didn't abandon her career. She didn't quit work altogether. To say that I don't work is absolutely ludicrous, but what I did do is leave the entertainment industry. She said noting how she became active in the local school district's special education programs. She said she has no regrets over stepping away from film editing, a decision she made on her own, and she is blessed to have a very rich, fulfilled life. I love what I do. I love working with the schools, and I love helping children and helping our community, which I think is so much more productive than just cutting a film, she said. So these people don't understand the joys of family or any of this stuff. All they know is their own selfishness. They don't care about anything else. They sit there and they think that they're changing the world and that everyone needs to be like them when people don't want to be like them. You know, that's really what it is. These people are miserable, miserable people. And they want you to be a part of their misery. Is really it's the real story here. And I love that she said, I live in the real world and I help real people. It's really, really good. And I love that she stands with her man and says these things. I think that's great. And that's something that you just don't see that often anymore, which is sad. But anyway, several critics on Twitter expressed hope that someone would offer his wife an editing job. She doesn't want that, clearly. Sounds like she's happy where she is. It's really strange to them. Like, they can't understand that she would be happy doing what she's doing. It's so foreign to them. When asked about those comments, Penny laughed and said, everyone has choices in life, and we all find fulfillment in different ways. I'm not lacking for editing jobs, believe me. She also praised her husband for supporting her decision. My husband has been amazing. He's been an incredible father and so supportive of everything we've done, she said. For some people, working is the correct choice. Other people, life takes a turn, and sometimes you have to go with that turn. She was previously credited with helping her husband make an important turn in his career when he was considering leaving the industry years ago, and Penny suggested that he go into sound editing. The suggestion was a good one, as, you know, noted that he won an Oscar for what he just did. So, yeah, so good for them. This is a happy family that sticks together. I bet their kids are actually well put together and going to do fine, which is more than most can say. Because you know why? They had a good family unit, which is a thing that a lot of people just don't have. And it's probably part of the problems in the world today. So, you know, I just find this funny. You know, women aren't allowed to stay at home. You know, these people have no idea. Like, it's not like they're just sitting at home. Like, they're doing their part. Or maybe they are just sitting at home. Maybe their husband has enough money to, pay for someone to take care of things while they sit at home. Either way, who cares? That's their decision. If one partner has enough money to work and the other one doesn't, and that's what they want to do, that's their choice. You know, and they're doing what they want to do. You know, it's so weird to me. These people think that, you know, everyone needs to be a work slave or something. If they want to sit at home, that's their decision. And it sounds like they're happy. You know, I just think this is ridiculous. And how stupid to get upset about this. The man thanked his wife because he wouldn't be there without her. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this. What are your thoughts on these weirdos? How do you feel about this? You know, I'm getting sick of them attacking family, which is really what this is. And it's every other day now. You're not allowed to think your spouse stupid. Also, make sure you check out the description. You'll find a link to Ridge Wallet. Make sure you use the code FLASH. That way you can get 10% off. Also, share the video. That would be appreciated. Throw a like up. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.